The helicopter trembled violently as it descended through layers of dark, swirling clouds. Rain lashed against the metal body like thousands of tiny claws, and thunder rolled above the mountains as if the sky itself was warning them to turn back. Dr. Ethan Cole stared through the window, his breath fogging the glass. Below him stretched an endless sea of green, dense jungle wrapped tightly around jagged cliffs, untouched by modern civilization. This was the Sichuan Basin's forbidden zone. No roads, no villages, no official records, only rumors. For more than a decade, Ethan had chased impossible theories. Creatures that should not exist. Ecosystems that defied time. Every lead had ended in disappointment. Until now, satellite images had shown something massive moving beneath the canopy. Heat signatures larger than any known animal. And then came the reports. Livestock torn apart, forests flattened overnight, entire expeditions disappearing without a trace. The locals refused to enter this valley. They called it the Dragon's Grave. The helicopter landed hard on a small clearing, blades slicing the fog apart before slowing to a stop. The pilot didn't even turn around. "I'm not waiting," he said coldly. "You get 30 seconds." Ethan nodded. He had expected this. The team jumped out, equipment in hand. The moment Ethan's boots touched the ground, a strange sensation ran through his body. A pressure, like the land itself was watching him. The air was thick, humid, and heavy with the scent of wet earth and decay. As the helicopter lifted away, the sound of its engine faded unnaturally fast. Silence swallowed everything. No birds chirping, no insects buzzing, no movement. Morning did not arrive gently in the valley. There was no sunrise, only a slow thinning of darkness, as if the night itself was reluctant to leave. A cold mist clung to the ground, curling around the trees and crawling across the camp like a living thing. Dr. Ethan Cole opened his eyes to silence so complete it felt unnatural. Even his own breathing sounded too loud. The fire had burned down to ash. No one had slept. Jack Turner stood at the edge of the camp, weapon raised, eyes fixed on the fog. His posture was rigid, muscles tense, like a man who knew danger was close, very close. "It came back," he said without turning around. Ethan's heart skipped. "You saw it?" Jack shook his head slowly. "No, I felt it." Mei Lin stepped forward, hugging herself. The ground vibrated around midnight. Whatever it was, it walked all around us. Sarah checked her camera footage, her hands trembling. I kept filming, but the fog swallowed everything. The sound, though. Listen. She pressed play. From the tiny speaker came a low, rhythmic sound. Breathing. Deep. Slow. Massive. Ethan felt his throat tighten. It was standing right there. They packed quickly, fear pushing them forward. Staying in one place felt like inviting death. The mist refused to lift, turning the forest into a maze of white shadows. Every tree looked the same. Every direction felt wrong. As they moved, the destruction became impossible to ignore. Fear does strange things to time. Minutes stretch into hours. Sounds echo longer than they should. Every shadow feels alive. After Sarah was taken, the forest no longer felt like a place. It felt like a trap that had already closed. Dr. Ethan Cole stood frozen, staring at the drag marks carved deep into the mud. Each groove was wide, uneven, violent. Sarah hadn't been carried. She had been dragged. Jack Turner knelt beside the broken camera, his jaw clenched so tight his teeth ached. The lens was cracked, the screen shattered, but the device was still recording. Static flickered, then audio played. Breathing. Sarah's breathing. Fast. Panicked. Then a low rumble rose beneath it, a sound so deep it distorted the microphone. The recording ended in a violent crash, followed by silence. Mei Lin collapsed to her knees. "We shouldn't have come here," she whispered. "This valley, it belongs to that thing." Ethan forced himself to stand. His legs trembled, but his mind burned with guilt. He had brought them here. He had insisted. "We can't leave her," he said. Jack snapped his head up. "You want to die too?" Ethan met his eyes. "I want to try." Jack looked away, scanning the fog-choked forest. "That thing doesn't kill randomly. It isolates, it weakens, then it finishes." Mei Lin wiped her tears. Predatory intelligence, far beyond anything we've documented. They followed the trail. The forest changed as they moved deeper. Trees grew closer together, their roots rising from the ground like tangled veins. The air smelled metallic, blood and wet stone. Bones littered the ground, some ancient, others disturbingly fresh. Human bones. That was the first thing Ethan noticed once the echoes of the Yangchuanosaurus faded into the distance. A slow, damp exhale of cold air rolled out from the darkness, carrying with it a smell unlike anything natural. Oil, rust, old chemicals, and death. The walls were smooth in places, unnaturally so, as if shaped by machines rather than water. Mei Lin lay against the stone, her face pale with pain. Her leg was swelling rapidly, the bone clearly fractured. Ethan tore strips from his jacket, binding it tightly, his hands shaking not just from fear, but from the realization that the cave was not just a hiding place. It was something else. Lights flickered deeper inside. Faint, yellow, artificial. Ethan froze. "Do you see that?" Mei Lin followed his gaze, her breathing shallow. "That's not possible. There shouldn't be electricity here." They moved slowly, every sound echoing too loudly. As they went deeper, the cave widened into a massive underground chamber, and Ethan's stomach dropped. Steel, concrete, doors. This wasn't a cave. It was a facility. Rust-covered cages lined the walls, some large enough to hold trucks. Their bars were bent outward, twisted violently, as if something inside had forced its way free. Warning signs in faded red paint still clung to the walls. Biohazard level Omega clearance only. Mei Lin's voice trembled. "This place, it's decades old." They found desks overturned, papers scattered across the floor. Ethan picked up a file, brushing away dust. The logo at the top made his blood run cold. A black dragon coiled around a DNA helix. Project logs lay everywhere. Genetic Reconstruction Trial 7. Subject, Yangchuanosaurus shangyuensis. Status, viable Mei Lin covered her mouth. Tears filled her eyes. They cloned it. Ethan flipped through more pages, his hands numb. The facility had been built in secret during the Cold War, an attempt to resurrect apex predators using fossil DNA. Not for science, for control, for weapons. Most experiments failed. Creatures died quickly, unstable, malformed. But one survived. Specimen Y-01.